Welcome everybody. In this video I would like to show you a few exercises you can do at home. All of these are dead bug variations. The dead bug variation is dead bug exercise is really valuable because it teaches you how to differentiate between moving with your limbs and remaining stable in your torso. First, why it's called dead bug? It's because if you lie down into starting position, you look like a dead bug. So it looks like this. You have two options. First, you can hold your hands like you are holding or want to hug a tree, or you can imagine that you are holding something on your hands. You want to remain with your chin down to have all of the spinal segments neutral. You want to have a contact here in the peak of your head, your thoracic spine, and here of your sacrum. You want to have a little bit of space in the lumbar area, which is a natural S-curve of your spine. Your legs are in a triple flexion. You want to point with your fingers towards you also. The knee should be over the hips slightly or in the one line of your hips. You don't want to have your legs like this because it really puts a lot of pressure and you cannot hold the position properly. First of all, if you want to start, you want to make sure that you are holding the intra-abdominal pressure properly and that you are able to activate all of the abdominals correctly. You want to take a deep breath and lift just one leg. You want to be active also on sides, not just your six-pack to pop up. If you are able to do this, you can start with the first variation. Here, it's really important that if you are moving with your leg, you are moving only in your hip. You don't want to make any movement in your knee, and you want to remain stable in your torso. As you go down, you don't want any movement in your pelvis, or you don't want your ribs to come up. If you are able to put your legs correctly down while activating your torso, you can progress to putting your arms down also. The same principle, you want to maintain the shoulder in the stable position, slightly pulling it away from your ear and maintaining nice and straight torso. You don't want to end up like this. If you are able to do this basic variation, you can make it a little bit harder. You can straighten your leg to make a bigger leverage. So it looks like this. Take a deep breath, and with the exhale, you will straighten your leg. Be careful, as the leverage increases, you will be far easily making the mistake I was talking about few seconds later and moving with your pelvis also. Then we have two progressions. You can go also either contralateral or ipsilateral. If you go contralateral, you will go with left arm and right leg. And then right arm and left leg. You are training here the contralateral system. That means you are training across the body. If you want to work on the ipsilateral stability, you will be moving with limbs on separate sides. So it looks like this. If you want to make it a little bit harder, you can use two options. You can either press with your hand to your limb to make that pressure, and then you of course want to switch sides, or you can use the roller and put it like that, pressing with your elbow. You want to remain nice and straight during the whole time, slightly pulling the elbow away from your ear. You can make a fist here to increase the contraction. you really want to pull aggressively here to activate the flexors of the hip and the whole flexor chain. And also here, pulling your shoulder away from your ear and your elbow down to activate the lats. Then you can make the contralateral variation also harder by pressing towards the ball, or again, you can use your hand and leg. So if you grab the ball, okay, so when you have the ball, you can make the contralateral variation also harder. You want to be aware of your positioning. Again, you don't want to start like that or like this. You again want to have your knee slightly over your hips and all your fingers are pressing towards the ball. And you see, as I'm pressing really hard, I'm forcing the activity, so you can make it harder by yourself when you press really hard to ball. Okay, if you master this variation and you want to make it a little bit more for the lower fixators of the scapula, so these muscles that are fixing your scapula down and in, you can use these bands. If you are not sure or you don't have them, you can use the variation without them, but you have to force the contraction by yourself. If you go like this, it's called like an epsilon. If you go back, you want to press with your thumbs to the ground. So as you finish the movement, you are pushing strongly to the ground, making that activity. You should feel it around the scapulas, not on the front part of your shoulder or up there in your upper trapezius. If someone destroys your band, you can have a new piece of equipment. You will put it under your knee, cross it, and then round it a few times round your fingers. And here from this position, you will just go again to the starting position of the dead bug, and you will make like an epsilon. Take a deep breath and strongly exhale, forcing your ribs to come down and activating your torso. If you have just this one, you can also make it work. You will put it behind your toes and then here between your fingers and your thumb. You will go on the ground and you will do the same. Okay, so these were the basic dead bug variations you can do at home. I hope you liked the video. If you have any questions, feel free to ask. And in the next video, I will show you another progressions for the upper body and the problem with the rib cage. Thank you for watching.